Indianapolis. I think that team is very formidable. We've seen Iomero pull out some very, very tough situations. And also, once that trainer gets control of a matchup, he does not give it away.
Yes, the double Ghost and the double Water from Iomero. Two Pokemon amazing in roles. We saw Sableye just dominant yesterday. We also saw amazing things from the Trevenant. As we move on to CrimsonK19's team, we have the Shadow Swampert. We have the Mandibuzz. We have the Deoxys Defense Form. We have the Alolan Ninetales, Registeel, and Walrein.
Butters, can we please talk about that Walrein there? Such incredible plays from that Pokemon, and I know a lot of trainers have access to this Walrein with its Community Day moves like Icicle Spear and Powder Snow, but my goodness, do you remember the matchup between CrimsonK's Walrein and his opponent's Registeel, throwing just before the Focus Blast, just before the Zap Cannon?
You could argue Walrein has some of the most impactful energy in the Open Great League meta because of the typings, because of the Ice typing of the Icicle Spear and the Ground typing of the Earthquake. Almost nothing resisted. So if you are able to gather a bunch of energy on Walrein, it's going to be extremely useful.
Absolutely, and we did see the Mandibuzz as well. We pointed out that Iomero does have a double Ghost team, and the Mandibuzz, my goodness, when the Dark Flyer gets lined up against a Trevenant or a Sableye, it is trouble for both of those Pokemon, and I think we are getting locked in and underway. Let's get some hype in the crowd. This is it, Day 2, Indianapolis.
Let's go. It's the Medicham into the Registeel. Instant swap into Say Swap Shadow Swampert, met by the Walrein.
Shadow Swampert, one of Tua Butter's personal favorites, makes an appearance here on the field immediately, and Walrein is going to try to put an end to the Swampert when it just arrived.
I believe Shadow Swampert is the best closer in Open Great League. Crimson does let it go, and this is scary because it maybe puts it in a Powder Snow down range, but going for the huge Earthquake, and it's going to go in between two shields on this Walrein.
Walrein loses an enormous amount of HP, might even be fast moved down. Let's see, Walrein gets to one more Icicle Spear, and Swampert forced to use a Protect Shield.
This is a huge turn of events. I thought the Swampert was going to get farmed down, but looks like this Walrein is going to get fast moved down with the Mud Shot. The Swampert is going to be going into the Mud Shot. The Walrein does go down. The Swampert has energy, and it's going to be able to throw it on the Medicham or the Registeel.
Swampert, very low HP, but is waiting for the next opponent. In comes the Medicham, reaching, goes for the Hydro Cannon here against the Fighting type.
And actually decides to go for the Hydro Cannon, even though Crimson was at Earthquake energy. I do not believe the Swampert will be able to get the two Hydro Cannons, and it does not. So this Medicham does take it, and the Medicham is left here with two Protect Shields versus this back line.
Down a Protect Shield, but you have to favor CrimsonK's position at the current moment as he brings in the Alolan Ninetales, immediate swap, counter swap. Now we're in a Registeel mirror, but one of them is shiny.
Yes, one of them is shiny, and this is an interesting mirror. You go for the Focus Blast first. Oh, it looks like Iomero is just going for the Focus Blast straight away, not worrying about the debuff, not thinking a shield's gonna come up, and was correct!
Super effective damage, but the Registeel still can fight back here. Let's see, CrimsonK also deciding to select a charge move here. Let's see if we get a Protect Shield. Finally, Iomero giving up the first shield.
Yeah, there are two Protect Shields, so you could decide to go for that Zap Cannon to debuff the opponent's attack 2 stages, but going for the Focus Blast, it is 5 less energy, so it's not a bad decision. Having to throw one more Focus Blast is Iomero. CrimsonK19 Registeel's in trouble and does shield.
This is so steep, such an uphill climb for CrimsonK's Registeel here as it looks to fire back here, but we can see the energy bubbles filling up, and he is way behind Iomero.
And just look at the dimensions here. Iomero is probably in range of Focus Blast soon. It's taken too much lock-ons, but how will Iomero finish the rest of this Registeel? Is it going to be a lock-on down? No. The swap into the Medicham. Medicham is met by the Alolan Ninetales.
Both trainers pulling their Registeels off of the field, and here comes the Medicham Psychic. There are no Protect Shields remaining, so Alolan Ninetales takes full force of the stab type attack.
And this Alolan Ninetales is looking for the charm down. 2 charms, and it does it. Medicham goes down. CrimsonK is so close. It needs to get to some moves to get this Registeel.
Registeel looks so strong here in this matchup, and Alolan Ninetales is able to reach a Weather Ball. But again, we've seen this matchup all weekend in Indianapolis. Alolan Ninetales has very few ways to hit back against the Steel type.
Yes, but the problem is Iomero is dealing with 2 Pokemon at very low health, and you only have high energy moves. So you're going to throw the Focus Blast straight away. No, this looks like no bubbles. Looks like it's going to be an undercharge, maybe trying to get a little more fast moves in. And yes, it is the undercharge, trying to lock on down here. This is a huge play by Iomero.
Oh my goodness, Iomero demonstrating such control over the Registeel. Now CrimsonK is going to fire off a Weather Ball here with his Alolan Ninetales, but is it enough?
and it looks like this was all going to come down to who got to the charge move first in the back. Iomero was able to handle the energy and get to the focus blast before CrimsonK19, and Iomero is going to take game number 1.
Iomero with a photo finish there. Last second plays. My goodness, that was a game of inches and seconds.
Wow, what a play there at the end, going for the undercharge on the Registeel. Just to talk about that quickly, why do you want to go for an undercharge? Why do you want to not press your bubbles on that? It's because you need to not worry about this matchup in front of you. You need to worry about the matchup in the back. There's one Pokemon remaining for CrimsonK19. You need energy and able to knock it out. So you need to gather that energy, and to do that, you need health on the Alolan Ninetales.
There are so many calculations that go into every single moment of these battles, and we did see, again, once you start to swipe those bubbles, you increase the damage output of your charge moves. Each charge move minigame has a unique animation, so mastering each of the individual games really helps you to control your matchups. It gives you another degree of confidence, and we saw that with Iomero being able to outpace Crimson K, because it is so difficult to try to count and anticipate lock-on damage, but if you can control your Pokemon, if you trust your Pokemon, you can make magical things happen.
That's why I believe Registeel is one of the more higher skill cap Pokemon in Open Great League, and you saw it on display here. How will CrimsonK19 respond? It was interesting because in that game, the Shadow Swampert was really impactful, able to take alignment with that huge Earthquake that got him between 2 shields on the Walrein, but still had the alignment, but it still looked bad in the back.
Well, that's the trick, right? We did see that Swampert safe swap, and when you have a Trevenant on your opponent's team, that was a pretty bold call to make, but we did see that safe switch, and then we saw the Swampert able to get the better of the Walrein. However, Shadow Swampert's primary target was the Registeel, and it just could not find it.
Yeah, and speaking of the Trevenant not being there, it's really scary to bring it when the Mandibuzz is available, just hard walling all of the moves that Trevenant has at its disposal. I think we are going to be going into game number 2 shortly. How will these trainers adapt?
One of these trainers is confident, has their team locked in, and is ready to go. The other's taking just a few moments to mull things over. This could be an elimination battle. Let's see game number 2.
And here we go. It is the Walrein into the Registeel. The Walrein seems comfortable, seems like wants to stay in this matchup. As we saw yesterday, you cannot take a move from Registeel if you're Walrein.
We've seen Crimson K in the opposing position here, playing that Walrein versus the Registeel. He has mastered that matchup from that side, but how can he handle it from this position, playing the Registeel?
Interesting again, going for the Focus Blast instead of the Zap Cannon, deciding to be more efficient with energy instead of worrying about the debuff.
A lot of trainers, they have a strategy going into the match. They want to play for shield advantage, energy advantage. Maybe they don't care about alignment quite as much. And these subtle cues, oh my goodness, a switch!
My goodness, onto the Sableye! And this is gonna be resistant damage. This is inefficient use of the energy here. The Sableye takes it, no problem.
Sableye absorbs the Focus Blast, and that's exactly what Iomero was trying to achieve. Here comes the Shadow Swampert, though. My goodness, Butters, I blinked, and now the Hydra Cannon is here.
Yeah, and the Sableye swapped on that, but at what cost? Now the Sableye is gonna be knocked out because the Swampert just beat it to the draw, just got to that Hydra Cannon instantly.
Instantaneously, it feels. Now let's see. Shadow Swampert a little healthier than game 1. Oh, it's going to be met by the Trevenant here from Iomero.
Oh no, able to bait out the Shadow Swampert. Now the Trevenant is going to be dealing with it. But look, there's only one Protect Shield remaining. And as we see from Shadow Swampert, it doesn't really care about typing. Look how much this Hydra Cannon is doing.
Not very effective pops up on the screen. Those indicators are so helpful for trainers learning their matchups early. But my goodness, Hydra Cannon hits hard. We're going to see a no shield here on Shadow Swampert. This makes a lot of sense to me.
Yes, your Shadow Swampert did its job. Now you have your backline. You're going to try to go for maybe a big Powder Snow down, but you have to take a lot of damage or Protect Shield it, and Protect Shield Crimson will do.
Wanting to avoid taking super effective damage, Crimson K does shield up that Seed Bomb, but here comes the Walrein, and it's got stored energy.
Iomero swapped out with a bunch of energy, able to utilize that now against Crimson in the back, and taking the Earthquake. Look, a little shake of the head. swapping in Registeel, hoping to soak some energy from the wall rain.
This is such a risky play. Oh my goodness, Icicle Spear coming through here. The question is, Registeel will resist this attack, but will it KO regardless?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be able to knock out this Registeel just barely, and Registeel does go down. It's wall rain versus wall rain, reaching for that Earthquake. The Earthquake is gonna be coming out there. Oh no, sorry, it's the bait, and it's shielded by Iomero.
Icicle Spear bounces off that Protect Shield. Oh my goodness, what a close call. And we're gonna see another move coming through here from Iomero, and then the next Protect Shield gets deployed as well. No more shields on the field.
Back at you, I can bait too. Protect Shield on the Icicle Spear. Now the Earthquake is going to be coming out. Oh, this is going to be dangerously close. CrimsonK19 with the Shadow Wall Rain needs to knock out the opposing Wall Rain, and he does!
Shadow Wall Rain able to get the better, and here comes the Trevenant. Now it's a fast move race. Can Wall Rain pull it off?
It's a race to the finish, and Icicle Spear, it's here! CrimsonK19 fighting for his tournament life is taking out the Trevenant.
CrimsonK, 1 HP and a dream.
Wow, what a finish. What a race to the end there. Wall Rain able to secure it for CrimsonK19. What a game.
That felt like it could have been the finals. What an incredible showcase of both of these trainers. We saw the outstanding Registeel play from Iomero in Game 1. Game 2, CrimsonK showed why his Shadow Wall Rain, it could be the best Shadow Wall Rain in the entire tournament. What are we going to see in Game 3?
Yeah, that was amazing. It was an amazing swap by Iomero to bring in the Sableye and take that resisted Focus Blast. But CrimsonK19 responded immediately with a Shadow Swamper and was able to beat Sableye to the draw, able to knock it out, so that catch move plus the Hydro Cannon was enough, and just got enough momentum on the Trevenant to finish the game with 2 Protect Shield Wall Rain, which we've seen multiple times in this tournament.
We have seen this quite a bit, and again, the recipe for success for these trainers was the Icicle Spear bait. When you have a Shadow Wall Rain, that Earthquake does so much damage. Even in the mirror match, when you're not dealing super effective damage, you have to respect the big charge moves, and those Community Day exclusive moves of Powder Snow and Icicle Spear are so key to Wall Rain's success in the current meta.
Yeah, able to have what we call a bait move, which is a lower energy move to try to get the Protect Shield, to try to land the larger move, which is the Earthquake. And we saw both trainers going for it, and both trainers falling for it too, and using both Protect Shields on Icicle Spears.
Now, I know the adrenaline is pumping. We're headed to Game 3 here. These trainers are trying to blow off some steam, cool down, and kind of take into account all these things they've experienced in Games 1 and 2, maybe the tendencies that the players are exhibiting throughout the match. They're trying to figure out what their opponent is likely to do. We haven't seen some key Pokemon from either trainer. We have not seen the Iomero from Iomero. We have not seen the Mandibuzz from CrimsonK. Is Game 3 the moment to bring these Pokemon?
Yes, and one thing I've noticed from CrimsonK, I'm sensing a pattern. I've seen a lot of double water, a lot of Wall Rain, Shadow Swamper, and we've seen in previous games him protecting that double water core with the Mandibuzz. Do we see the Mandibuzz? Do we see a bait out of the Trevenant, a farm down on the Mandibuzz? But it's risky because we're seeing the play from Iomero with the Registeel. How do you avoid that Registeel? And this is it. This is the game number 3, and this is going to be Trevenant into the Registeel.
Trevenant will have the slight edge in this matchup, but Zap Cannon is such a formidable attack. It will debuff that Trevenant no matter what, and it does deal a significant amount of damage. Oh my goodness, an early swap and catch.
What a swap, and we do see the Mandibuzz here. It's gonna be able to shake off this Shadow Ball, no problem, but is it worth it? Is it worth it to switch lock this Mandibuzz? Because here comes the Registeel.
We've seen a lot of push and pull in this matchup. Switches to lure Pokemon out. Shadow Swampert is one of the key components of CrimsonK's victory, but this time, Crimson making that initial swap, pulling out that Registeel.
Maybe CrimsonK knew that the only matchup for Mandibuzz was Trevenant, so just trying to soak some energy, knowing that Mandibuzz is gonna have a tough road ahead no matter what. Once again, we are seeing an undercharge trying to go for a huge lock on down.
Now we know Mandibuzz has an incredible stat product. Some people even like to call it the Umbreon of the skies. It's a very bulky dark type Pokemon, so this lock on down is very, very ambitious.
Yes, and it's a little risky too because the switch timer is coming back up, so you could interrupt that by swapping out your Mandibuzz before the lock on down finishes. We're gonna see how CrimsonK tries to do that, or if he just goes for the foul play. Looks like he's just going to commit that energy.
I like this play. You've already made one switch. You don't want to make any forced errors, especially if you're trying to play for alignment here. So we do see the foul play come through. Now Reggie steals deep into the red. Excuse me, wall rain.
And we do see the swap from Iomero though, and the wall rain is in there, and now it can be switch locked. And look at CrimsonK19 looking at his options. He's got a good one in that Registeel. Registeel has energy.
Oh my goodness, this is so tough because these trainers are thinking about their back Pokemon, and CrimsonK has to manage that Trevenant somehow. Oh my goodness, no shield! Zap Cannon!
Bang! Just lets it go. And now the wall rain does hold on for, it's going for the Earthquake.
Oh my goodness, this is a critical shield decision here. What does CrimsonK do? He needs to beat that Trevenant. Is Registeel the way? Does he shield here? Yes!
And interesting giving up the shield because Crimson did throw one of the first Zap Cannons. Didn't go for the Focus Blast. Actually went for the attack debuff this time, which we didn't see in earlier matchups. And now we see the Focus Blast is going to be incoming onto CrimsonK19's Registeel.
Iomero applying so much pressure here with the Focus Blast, grabbing away that final Protect Shield and clearing the way for Trevenant. 2 Protect Shields still remaining on the field for Iomero, and this just looked pretty stark.
Yeah, this is looking scary for CrimsonK19. Trevenant in the back has really good matchups versus the back line, shielding this first Hydro Cannon. It just needs to get to a Seed Bomb.
Wow, this Trevenant is just enjoying this matchup. It has Protect Shields to hide behind, and it's going to deal some super effective damage with the Seed Bomb here. Swampert will be removed from the field in any moment, and there it goes.
Swampert helplessly had to take it. An instant Zap Cannon in return from CrimsonK. And can you ever put this Trevenant low enough? All these charge moves are resisted.
Let's see what happens here as we see that switch timer ticking down. That Registeel and Iomero's back pocket might make it onto the field to reset a debuff, but first, a Shadow Ball.
Yes, the Shadow Ball is going to be going through. The attack stages are down by 2, and it's so close here down at the end. Is this Trevenant ever in range of Zap Cannon? This is going to be tough. This is resisted. This Zap Cannon needs to do so much for CrimsonK.
Trying to get all the bubbles to maximum energy charge. Oh my goodness, Registeel unable to close it out. The Shadow Claws are just too much, and Registeel fades.
Iomero had energy, but decided to go for the Shadow Claw down. Iomero registered the win condition.